All right, so that brings us to Hannibal.
Yay.
So you are here enough to get like within range. If you wanted to dash to like get into melee, that's totally cool too. You can have an action.
I am going to do something a little strange.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Hex.
Okay.
And I'm going to give disadvantage on wisdom checks.
It's a good idea. So you're gonna so here's the thing, Hannibal, would you like to roll an investigation roll and try and find a leader type figure to cast it on?
Oh, sure. Let's do that.
Because that's how like if you wanted to impose disadvantage on them like at their group morale, that's how you would do it.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, roll an investigation check for me. Let's see if you can find like somebody in there leading around. Yeah, 21. Yeah, so I think that you see that there's one of the bearded demons is a fair bit bigger than the rest of them. Also, you notice he's not like actively fighting, and he's probably closer to you than closer to the front lines. And you can see he's kind of like standing there like evaluating what's going on. He looks like a tactician. So you can throw your hex and sense of dread upon him.
Yeah, I do that, and now I roll on the
wild
magic.
Do, and it is complete. So you can just go ahead and click the button because I stopped being a bad GM.
Ooh.
Hey, nice. If you had lost hit points, that would be useful.
I feel strong, then I immediately bust out an Eldritch Blast on his face.
Yeah, absolutely. Try and take him out.
Specifically on the leader.
Yeah. I'm actually going to make a new token here. He's going to be colored blue.
Oh, no. That's a miss. No! Oh, there it is. My image got taken down.
Rip.
That's amusing.
Oh, wow, but that fucking crit though.
Holy God. Brutal. Savage.
A lot of damage.
Beautiful.
Correct.
Yep.
This guy's gonna take let me get his.
I'm sorry, I'll find another image real quick.
I mean, I don't think it's completely necessary.
No, it is. I'm sorry. Like, I apologize. I
Are you embarrassed now?
I am. I'm more embarrassed than I've ever been in this game than at this moment. Where my fucking image didn't. Jesus, what was I fucking thinking?
Poor Jackson.
Didn't even pair it up.
Geez, that's what 25 plus 31 damage. Wow. Yeah, you immediately just injure him, right? Like his back is turned to you. He feels this like sense of impending dread, and you see him kind of like look around. And right as he like turns around, just these two bolts of energy. One he narrowly dodges, but the other one hits him just square in the face. And it probably like goes rolling and tumbling. And when he stands up, you can see like he's holding his arm, like maybe you like dislocated his shoulder because you hit him so hard.
Here we go.
That's good. I like that one. It's a little more wholesome as well. It won't probably get taken down as fast.
Better if it was a true unicorn.
Oh, no way. Sorry, I found a better one. I think you'll enjoy this one more.
I can't wait.
But yeah, you immediately injure him, and he is not doing well from that attack. Yeah.
There we go.
Yay, kitty!
I actually do appreciate that one more. Yes. Surprisingly, Jackson, you are correct. I appreciate that one far more. So now you are not engaged with him, but you're a bit closer and you deal some hefty damage. And Morello is just, let's put you like right here in the shit, man. There you go.
Obviously.
Cool. Is that it for you, Hannibal? You did a lot, to be fair, in that turn.
Fight, men. Fight for glory, honor, and to kill those sons of bitches.
Megan, it's Aylin's turn.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess Aylin's gonna do what she does best and bring hope to the people.
Nice.
Become a literal beacon of hope.
Nice.
I hope you die.
Any number of creatures in range for the duration each target has advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws.
Heck yeah.
Creates a maximum number of hit points possible for any healing. Wow.
I would like to deny this feeling.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you can. I ain't gonna deny this feeling.
So are you just like, so you're
I'm just like slow motion walking
yeah.
into like the mass fray as people around me all of a sudden just feel this like
Yeah. You're
overwhelming
like
emotion of calm rush over them as I just like walk past.
yeah, you're like RP walking into the fray, right?
Yes, 100% RP walking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Step at a time.
So are you trying to get to where that people are fighting right now, or are you staying back with the people that are like moving forward? Because remember, these guys are ranged. They're probably going to stay at the back. The lizardmen also probably are more prone to ranged attacks. So are you going to stay with them, or are you going to try and get up like in the middle of the fighting and do this?
I guess my question would be, where do the most injured people look?
The only injured people are in the middle of fighting.
So there you go.
Okay.
Even though that's dumb, that would be what Aelin would do.
Yeah, and I think that you're probably going to end up dragging Daniela over there too, but yes. Certainly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you see Aelin here. Also, since I like my effects.
Yes, give me a good effect.
You're now glowing yellow. Look at that. There you go.
Type. I like it.
Beacon of light. Yeah. So that's gonna help a lot. Advantage of wisdom saving throws, especially since Kree's people are breaking and they're gonna need that advantage.
Where
We
did
need
she
some
go?
assistance.
She is underneath the bear.
Right here.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see her.
Yeah, the bear is covering her face at the moment.
Well, that's all I look at on it. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh God.
So that brings us to the Saurus's turn. So I think they're gonna form up in front here. They say Saurus, but they're the lizardman ground unit. Yeah, I think they're gonna do like the slow approach, and they're just gonna fire a bunch of arrows into the rear of these bearded demons so far. So they get 2 bow attacks. Oh, that second one does not hit. But the first one does a significant amount of damage. Almost forgot I had to do calculations here. So let's see. Each half. Yeah, taking out a significant number of them. As they're the kind of the arrow storm like begins to fly through in these barbed arrows. And so Aelin, I think probably this is how it looks like for you. Like you're walking and you like have your arms out, right? Because you're just like an angel. And then like all of the barbed arrows begin flying past you and like sinking into these devils.
Straight up Neo.
Basically, yeah. Except, yeah, the part where Neo sends the bullets back, right? Like doesn't just drop them on the ground.
Correct.
Yeah, it's the scene from 300, perhaps. And the swords are going to move up, or the lizardmen foot soldiers are going to move up a little bit closer so they can engage properly next round. Which brings us to the cavalry. So, they have to do this one turn at disadvantage because they haven't gotten a chance to roll. But at the end of their turn, Kree, since you're in charge of them, you'll get another wisdom saving throw, but you'll get advantage on it because Aelin is becoming a beacon of hope. And I almost... this is probably the most appropriate. Here we go. Beacon of hope. I like how on the on one screen it actually shows up behind your character. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
Super
rad.
dope.
You're gonna do that the whole time, right? Or...
Nope, I have to click the mouse button to do that, so that's not gonna happen. That's all you get, actually.
Lame.
So these guys, they're embroiled. They were dividing their attacks, but I think they're gonna go. They see reinforcements coming up on the bearded devils, and there's not that many of them left, so they're gonna go full out on the maw guys, big old maw demon, with their spears and shields. So let's see. They get the 2 attacks. Okay. So the Maw Demons are not particularly hard to hit, but they are kind of tanky here. So let's see how much we got here. Not bad. So, a significant number of the Maw Demons begin to fall under the onslaught of your soldiers. Oh, I lied out of my ass. They have disadvantage. I apologize. A significant less amount of them.
You fucker.
I apologize.
Piece of shit.
About half of the number I originally took off died. But they do end up laying in some damage to them, even in their weakened and disorderly state. But at the end of their turn, Kree, you can go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw with advantage now, because the Beacon of Hope has entered the fray.
Yay!
Advantage was good here.
Yes.
Was it good enough, though?
I actually think I set the DC at 15 last time.
Damn.
Wait, don't you have inspiration?
Not Bardic.
Like Bardic. That's what I thought you
No,
did. No, we gave it to the lizard
Yeah,
man.
the bears and the Oh wait, yeah, Jericho didn't. No, you inspired Farron. That's who you inspired.
Yes,
Right.
unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. So
Sorry,
unfortunately,
I knew one of you guys got inspired.
your lines are still breaking and they're still disorganized. But so they'll still fight at disadvantage on their next turn. But you're trying to rally them. It's still that there's insurmountable odds. Just to like put a number on it, you're outnumbered like 2-1, and you're kind of on the front lines against these things. So and these things are as large as your hound. So being outnumbered 2-1 is demoralizing your troops right now, and they're basically fighting for their lives as opposed to fighting with any kind of semblance of order. You could do something on your turn to try and help that, but we'll see. Which, speaking of, it is.
I've got a plan. It's okay.
And perfectly so. I do want to do something about that. So I'm just going to try and rally them if I can.
Yeah, so you can use like your whole turn action to try and rally them, sure.
That is exactly what I'll do.
Is there a check that you want to make to perhaps give you a better shot at it, or?
I mean, I'm just going to use my inspiration.
Okay, yeah, and then just make the wisdom saving throw.
I need these guys to rally.
Yeah, you really do.
Nope.
Okay. Wow.
Why is my wisdom so bad?
It's not supposed to be you're a ranger. I'm just throwing this out there. Just throwing it like I'm just putting it in the wind.
That's one of your main stats, buddy.
Feel free to pick it up if you want it.
It is my second highest stat. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so maybe Kree yourself, you're starting to like become a little bit demoralized, right? Like you're trying to shout, but like nobody can hear you over like the din of battle and combat, and like yeah, the bears are doing great behind you, but like maybe you're looking out over the hordes that are on the bridge, and while they're like preoccupied, like you're thinking too many steps ahead. You're like, oh my god, now we have to go fight those guys. Like even if we do kill these guys, like we're gonna be decimated. It's gonna be all over. Yeah, unfortunately, you're unable to rally the troops there.
That sucks. However, Noct wants to attack.
Noct can totally attack. Yes, absolutely, he can attack because he goes on your turn. I think we determined. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So he's gonna take out. He's gonna take out one of them because they're super easy to hit. Yeah.
Noct
so
loves the taste of these things.
Yeah, he like rips because you see they have like those multiple arms. One of them tries to like grab onto Noct, and he just like breaks away and like impales one of them and throws him up over his head and is defending you at this point.
Good job, buddy.
Cool. So it is Bear's turn. Now they can try and finish off these bearded demon devil thing.
Yeah,
that seems like the best option. So do I have him under animal? I think it's brown bear. Yeah. Right. Just click on that. Yep. Brown bear. Cool. So they're gonna get their bite and claws, and then the riders are. Oh boy. I'm gonna use the Bardic Inspiration on that second one because it seems important. That was actually a chance. It's a D8, right?
Yes.
Jericho? Oh no, you
Yep.
did it. Right, yeah, D8 roll. D8. Hey, okay, cool. So they do hit with that second attack. So after completing some math here, may be enough. Aha! So, I'm gonna roll one more Wisdom saving throw, but it's gonna be at disadvantage because their leader is injured, and he's hexed, and he's being flanked.
To be fair about that, Hex doesn't actually affect.
No,
saving.
I'm imposing disadvantage on him, like per the rules here, because he's outnumbered more than 2-1. He's injured himself, and he's being flanked. Like there's more than enough to say. No, I totally get what you mean though. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to be fair about it. I thought that it was a wisdom check, not a saving throw.
No, so it is a saving throw in this case. But he's definitely gonna have disadvantage. And this is so just so you're aware, this is not to like recover. This is to route in an orderly manner or not. Nope. They do not route in an orderly manner, and the bearded demons are effectively wiped out. They do not route in an orderly manner. They're not able to save any of their injured, so they are effectively routed.
Is the leader still around?
Yeah. Do you want to like hunt him on your next turn? You can totally do that.
100% going to try to take him out because he might be a problem later on in this campaign,
absolutely.
and it's better to eliminate as many high power people as we can.
Yeah. So what probably happens here is like because they route, like you see him run off down some side street, right? And now you have to like pursue him. But you can absolutely do that on your turn. Yeah, 100%, man.
I'd like to also. Dane is not on this list for some reason.
We must have said he's going on your turn then.
My bad.
No, that's fine. He can help, like the scouts. They're still available to take an action.
Yeah.
Like after him. So you can help the scouts. They'll get advantage on their first attack. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the Bears' turn. And they spend basically the rest of their turn like hunting down all of the remaining people that are there, like just crushing them with their maces of justice. However, the Maw Demons do get another attack, and this is the one that's gonna cause some problems here. So I have to ask, Kree, since your unit is injured, they are routing, you're gonna be exposed to some danger here. Because you don't have that like protective ring around you that is possible because your unit is not in good standing. So for their, I think they only get one attack. But basically they're going to make an attack on you and an attack on your unit. Is essentially how that works. Okay. As in you are not protected from their scariness any longer.
Is there any way I can try and mitigate some of the damage to my unit?
I mean, you can try. How would you do that? Is my question.
I want to say like use my reaction to try and block off some attacks with my own body instead of having them attack my unit.
So. How about this? I'll impose an attack upon you and an attack upon Noct, and I'll reduce some of the damage they deal to your unit.
That is perfect.
Okay, cool. So, attack on you first, then Noct, then the unit. Cool. So I don't believe either of those even hit you. No. Nope. Okay, cool. So you're able to the ones that you're fighting that have like kind of swarmed up on you are not able to hit. But they do hit the units, which is not great news for the unit. But they are going to get some reduced damage. I'll probably reduce it by like 25% of what it would have been. Oh.
There you go.
You did something. Good on you.
All right, so your unit is more injured now, and they're injured enough that they're effectively going to do a bit less damage now as well. Okay. But they survive that blow. They still have to rally before they're that effective. But we got some scouts here that need to go. Also, I'm going to delete. So the scouts are going to move up, and they're going to begin laying fire into these mutants. Humans, scouts. They get 2 attacks with their longbows, so let's see how they do.
Pew pew.
Oof. The second one missing kind of hurts, but let's see. Right, not bad. Okay. Deal a fairly good blow. They're getting the demons are actually getting close to that point where they need to start routing. So one more like good push perhaps from everybody will get us there. So the NPCs, Daniela and Kira Malia, they can spend their turn doing a couple of things here. Obviously Daniela is like going to be guarding Aelin in this instance. So her turn is probably spent like handling the rest of the bearded devils that are trying to like rout or whatever. But Kira Malia could maybe go help the bear riders do that as well. Maybe go. They could probably because this is abstracted. They could probably get up and make a couple of attacks if they wanted to. But actually, you know what? I just thought of something. Perhaps what they're doing is actually they catch up with Morella. So they've kind of earned a rapport with Morella and how she fights, and understanding that she's a crazy woman and she needs protection. So they're probably doing that.
They're listening to my orders.
Sure.
I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no other woman.
Yes, but just so your head doesn't get cleaved in, that's probably what they're doing.
Sure.
Well, I'm
So-
lending them to you.
Yeah, they've
Don't
definitely
get
learned well from Arcadi.
Yeah, exactly.
Morella, I just want you to know I'm lending them to you. You can't have them; they're mine.
Just like your.
So Jericho, the remaining enemies, they're not wavering yet. They still have the upper hand on the lizardmen. In fact, it might be a good idea to pull the lizardmen out of there, maybe if that's an opportunity. But maybe you can help with the rallying here, or maybe you can do something else.
Yeah, no, Jericho has a very specific idea about how he wants to help under these circumstances.
Yeah, go for it.
The thing is, given that this is abstracted, it's hard to say exactly what he would do.
Sure.
With this, but what he wants to do basically is throw a sudden, unexpected reshaping of the battlefield in their face with a wall of force.
Okay.
So, one obvious option for that, given that it's 100 feet by 10 feet high and utterly unbreakable, he could just cut off the road so that we could retreat and regroup more effectively. But if there's something else that he could do that might suddenly throw some of their formation into disarray, so that
absolutely,
we could try to turn the tide, like basically divide and conquer, cut their forces in half, eliminate one part while they're vulnerable. Yeah, you get
the cut the forces in half is actually exactly what I was thinking. Like straight up Napoleon, this right? Like, you could make it so that the fight is more even between the two frontliners, right? Like they obviously outnumber the Lizardman cavalry by a lot here, but like you could use your turn to like get up there and maybe even those odds for a turn, and then maybe if you can wipe out the smaller group, which you'll have, maybe it'll provide advantage to some of the units attacking or something like that. If they can wipe that group out, maybe the rest of them will run away. I think that is totally a good use of like wall of force, straight up Napoleon them, right?
Sounds good. So he'll try to confer with Farron and Kree on what he's about to do to them, and then dart ahead. And
Yeah, so Kree is like occupied because he's like embroiled in the middle of the battle now because he's being overwhelmed. But yeah, you tell Farron obviously.
Yeah,
So,
just try to get them ready to take advantage of this.
So imagine, so you're on like the main stretch. They're like at just inside the gate area, right? And you're in kind of like there's like a courtyard, a little bit of an area, and then there's like a major road that runs down north towards the rest of the city, and that's kind of like where the battle is. Like that funnel is where the lizardmen are kind of holding. And then the big giant maw demons, because they're big as well, they can't maneuver around the small streets as well as like some of the foot soldiers could. So most of it is kind of that clash right there. So imagine that being the kind of scene laid out before you. Places where you could like put your wall of force, like you could maybe like straight up just cut them in half, right? Like just make it so that some of the forces can't get up and refill the front lines.
Creating a choke point would be nice, like an even more intense one than they're dealing with.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I think that is... So yeah, even what you could do there is you could make it so that, like, you cut off... They have to, like, go all the way around and kind of narrow the point of attack. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that is 100%.
Yeah, so that is what he will throw down there.
Yeah, and I think mechanically what that will do is they'll do extremely reduced damage if they get another turn before they rout. And I think that since the Lizardmen cavalry are below the threshold to do less damage, they'll do full damage because they can focus all of their forces in a more narrow choke point.
Lovely.
Cool.
And he'll hold on to his last cutting words, so that's it for Jericho.
Okay, absolutely. So, like, when you do this, do you like leap on top of one of the mounts, or like are you on top of like one of the houses in the area? Like, what's the scene that we see Jericho like? Because this is level 5 magic. Like this is not child's play anymore.
No, I think he will flip the cloak again away from high visibility orange to more of a stony gray to blend in with the buildings around him, and probably go parkouring along the tops of whatever wreckage or former carts or stalls or things that might be left in the street.
Yeah.
So that he can get a good, slightly higher view of the battlefield to sort of calculate where he wants to cut through the forces. And then there is the moment where he just holds out a hand, palm forward, sweeps it to the side like he's conducting and calling for total stop, and just cuts a line through the street, and this luminous iridescent wall bursts up through it, and
it's this thing where it like pushes people to each side, right? Like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like some of the creatures are like thrown backwards, or some are like thrown like further in, and we see this big swath cut like down the path, and you connect it to like a big hardy row of buildings that hasn't been destroyed, that they would either have to like navigate the narrow side streets, which wouldn't be effective, or like try and dump in over the wall, which obviously is impassable in all ways. And
they can climb over each other, I guess.
Right? Yeah, they could World War Z it,
wrong?
But
they'll just trample themselves. It's fine.
Right? Exactly. They're not the type of creature that smart enough to probably figure that out. But yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's. Does your cloak like fly back? Is there like a gust of wind? Do people see you do this, or is this something you just kind of nonchalantly do? Is this? The question is, does Jericho take the spotlight when he does this?
No, because taking the spotlight from the high ground is a good way of getting shot.
Sure is.
He does have proficiency in history, but people may take note of him while it's happening, because the only sound that goes along with this is, well, it's the opposite of sound. It's sort of like a moment of quiet suddenly presses over everything, like the reverse of a bell tolling. Instead of everything suddenly being really loud, everything is just muted for a second, the pressure rolling out from him.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like a deafeningly loud sound in reverse, so they can maybe tell for a second where that force is radiating outward from, but he wants to quickly drop out of sight again.
Yeah, so like people that would for sure see it is Farron, obviously. You told you what he was gonna go do. Maybe the others, Kree, you're maybe involved, maybe not, you can decide. But maybe the others that are fighting as well, that's up to you. But like some of the common folk probably just like see like, oh, that was, you know, there's a powerful caster, but they don't recognize you, obviously. Like they don't know who you are. So, but Farron probably the only one that sees it in its full like level 5 spellcasting glory. Cool, awesome. It seems great. So moving on to Farron, your response to this.
I've been busting out fucking level 5
Yeah,
spells forever,
so-
but you know, whatever.
Showmanship.
So, as I knew the plan was going to happen, I now know of a perfect charge point for
Yeah.
me and my bear riders.
Yeah.
So I just shout out, "Bear riders to me!" as we just charge for this choke point, as I magically infuse all the bears so the paws just bound like drums on the ground, and
You got a
their
thaumaturgy
roars
them?
their roars just kind of embrace the entire
Ah.
surroundings
So
as
you're
we
gonna,
charge into the choke point.
yeah, you're gonna fear the enemies here
Mm.
and cause them to be demoralized even further. Yeah, wisdom saving throw. Ooh, they're not great at this. They're not great at this. They also don't have advantage. They're not cool like that. No, they fail. So, I think that you can have advantage on your attacks here, if you were to make them. But the bears are gonna get maybe not advantage, but they're gonna get some increased damage.
Mhm.
Certainly on their charge here, and it's gonna be super epic. But we see the Kree. You see all of this occur. Like you see this wall appear, kind of, you know, off and to your right, and you hear like the bears, and there's probably a couple of people like blowing horns, and you hear they're running and roaring and like frothing at the mouth, and Farron's at their head, and he's got this like visage of basically this aura of like death expediently heading towards the giant maw demons, and some of them are like having been like thrown to the side, and like they see this, like they're trying to like scramble backwards a little bit, and it's a great advantage to strike whenever you. So.
Yeah.
Anything else?
So I guess bonus with seeing the demons flee, the bear riders are bardically inspired.
Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Morella, it's your turn. As you pull your spear out of the body of another dead demon.
Obviously. Would I be able to engage in these small demons?
Yeah, you could run up there. You could run, like, you can maneuver through the side streets, so you could even, like, take the flank on them.
Perfect.
It's harder
That's
for them
exactly
to do
what
that. Yeah.
Because obviously, I'm going to be like the Arcadians with fucking Malia and Kira, and we're going to hit that side passage and just choke them out.
Yeah, so as Farron's, like, leading the charge in the front, you, like, as you pull your spear out, you, like, nod at Kira and Malia, and then you charge off, like, down the side streets and round a corner, and you see, like, there's some maw demons. There's probably, like, a couple that have, like, run into the side streets and are, like, trying to figure out a way to get out, like some of the ones that are feared, and you have an opportunity to just begin hacking them down if you want.
That is what I'm going to do. So.
By the way, you still have rage. Rage can still apply right now. Totally fine.
Alrighty. So, here is the first one. Man, someone's phone is dying. But, 1, 2. Ooh, jeez.
Oof. I roll.
Yo, you're not level 2. You don't get reckless yet.
Nope.
Just the level 1. So the first one hits. First one is... they're not particularly hard to hit. They're giant and they're kind of meaty and pretty easy to cut through. But the second one probably is just like... Maybe you didn't expect to find them as quickly as you did, because they're like running away at this point. So you were just caught off guard and whiffed on that second attack.
Indeed. And I am going to flip one, or attempt to, on its belly.
Yeah. So Kira Malia could stab it more effectively.
Kapow. And kapow. Now I have advantage with this since I'm raging. So. Beat a 29.
I cannot. I did roll a 20 though. Yeah, so you just you the one you missed probably, like, you flip it over on its back. And it's like multiple legs are like trying to get bearing again, and Kira Malia are gonna descend on it and kill the ever-loving hell out of it. Cool. Anything else?
Nope, that is it for me.
Hannibal.
Yeah, that's right. I tracked this motherfucker down like to a back alley or something.
Yeah.
And
Roll
it's like,
I think.
Can I have Dane help me?
Yeah, absolutely. Dane didn't get to go last time, so he can totally help you with this. So I think that what is the roll? I think that this is actually going to be like tracking something is like a survival check, right? Like I think that is the most appropriate check here.
Okay.
Yeah. Check the follow tracks, hunt wild game, guide your group through frozen wastelands. Yeah, I think survival is the roll here.
Would Hex also help me that I have it on him?
Doesn't Hex say that? Like, I know Hunter's Mark does, but does Hex say you know the target of your location and stuff like that?
Neither of them does that.
Hunter's Mark doesn't do that?
No. Hunter's Mark gives advantage to perception and survival rolls.
Oh, to track them. Got it. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure if
Okay,
Hex does
no,
the same
I don't.
thing.
No. Hex's thing is that it gives you disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
So.
Cool. Yeah. But
Sorry,
you can roll with advantage because Dane is helping.
Okay.
He's using the help action to help you, so you can do that if you want.
Uno, dos, tres, go.
Hey, advantage, man.
God, you
That's
had
a
that
lot.
advantage. So let's see how good at running away he is. Him right there. He's not particularly good at run. Oh, actually, he's okay at running away. No, God, no. I think you run down an alleyway and like you turn around and you see he's like cowered in a corner, like looking out. He doesn't even notice you. You can just get like a free action on him.
Fuck yeah! I just blast him
Yeah,
inside.
You just like there's that moment of like he's like standing there, he's like peering around a corner to see if anybody's there or like hunting him, and you like come down a different alleyway and like just walk right up on him.
You thought you could run away, did you, coward? And then as he turns around, I just shablam.
Yeah. Cool.
And class.
Yeah, no problem at all. He just doesn't disintegrate, but his broken, destroyed body crumples.
I shoot him in the stomach.
Yeah.
And as he's laying there, like trying to crawl away, I step on his back and shoot him in the back of the head with my other beam.
His face just implants into the ground with the force damage, and yeah, he moves no more, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Anything else?
I begin to walk back to the battle.
Yeah, totally.
Or, you know what? I'm going to take this thing's head to demoralize the other troops.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Hannibal's
Got the head of a general.
for science, really.
Aelin, it's your turn.
Yeah, so I guess seeing the army run forward towards the choke point to engage the now split enemy.
Yeah.
I would imagine that from Aelin's current vantage point, as you know, it kind of files out, what's left behind is all of the dying and injured and dead.
Dead, wounded, and dying. You're probably like having trouble not stepping on them.
Yeah, and so, you know, Aelin's first thought was to continue moving forward, being her beacon, but taking a turn around to see what was left behind her. I think that she would drop her beacon and just drop to a knee and start triaging as many as she thinks she can keep alive that are in her immediate vicinity.
Yeah, you're gonna use healing spells, or are you gonna use like medicine checks here to like stabilize some people, or?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do medicine checks.
Sure. Just to stabilize at this point.
Yeah, just like because I actually think that would go quicker.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Theoretically speaking, to get more people rather than
So, are you focusing on like the bears and bear riders that are injured? Because about half of them were lost, or half of them are injured, right? Like the numbers here are not reflective of actually how many still live. It's mostly like how many are still in fighting shape. So, or the lizardmen who have taken a bit more losses. But it's up to you which one you want to triage there, or you want to split between both, like whoever's available.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think that she would make any determination between
Sure.
either. If I'm following Aylin's nature,
Yeah.
I think that honestly it'd be whoever's nearest to her.
Yeah.
So
Roll me a medicine check, then.
I guess I would say I would split it then. So
Yeah, roll me a medicine check.
Aelin enters a healing rage.
basically, right? A frenzy of healing. I think I'm going to use my inspiration.
Yeah, it's probably good. Depending on how well you roll here is how many I'll like add back to the. Oh my
Holy
god!
shit! Yes, I heal everyone.
Wow!
I triage everyone. Literally
Holy
everyone.
Cow. That natural 20 though. Yeah, that's really good.
Mercy.
So.
No,
Yes,
it really was a healing frenzy or rage.
Yeah, so these guys are just below half.
Rocco
feel my
feels his energy being channeled.
God, I can't wait till I play my part.
Reckless bandage.
Reckless.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's.
Inspiration to Liam. Sorry.
Yeah, so you're able to save a significant number of soldiers on either side, bolstering their numbers a bit. In fact, bringing the bears up to a fighting force greater than half now, just from your triage and saving people. So they won't have to take rally checks when they get damaged anymore.
Yay.
That's super useful, actually. And a couple of them are like, I think that how this works, right? Because you're only one person and you only have a limited amount of time. And Daniela's probably helping you, right? But like as you help someone and they're able to like get up, they begin helping you, and then like
I was gonna say it's like a ripple effect, right? Like,
yeah.
It's like I get up 5, they exponentially grow.
Yeah, and that's like
Pyramid
yeah, it's called pyramid healing. It's a tactic they only teach the priestess
the most
of Shalia.
skilled, the most skilled of Shalia.
Yeah, they're actually all con artists too, as we've seen, obviously.
Little do you all know.
They're not real angels.
There's a Charlie in front of it.
Anything else you think on your turn, or is it just going to be spent kind of doing that?
I mean, I think that, narratively speaking, that's literally all I could do on my turn if I heal that many people, so I think I'm good.
So, the advantage of these Saurus is they can move along these alleyways, and seeing their opportunity to strike. I keep calling them Saurus because that's what they're listed here on the turn order, but the scouts, the Lizardman scouts, they're going to charge in and begin battering away. Wow, yeah, both hit there. Cool.
Nice.
These guys each. Yep. Yeah. So, with their forces cut off, or with their forces like highly narrowed, they take that little bit of additional damage from that, and they are weakened. They're like, yeah, like another couple of like good charging blows, and they might be able to. They might start routing backwards into the opposing army, which is great. Awesome. So the Skink's turn. Kree, I didn't let you decide, but I should have. What do you think that they would do here? They've been reinforced by the Bear Riders. They could continue attacking, or you could like draw them back at this point because you don't need to be on the front lines, right? Like you could draw the Lizardmen back and maybe try and not take as many losses, or any more losses, or are you going to push forward?
I mean, they would love to not lose as many people, but we're lizardmen. We don't know how to retreat.
Sure.
So, obviously, we're just going to go full force.
So it's funny you say that because actually this is off topic, but in Mordheim, that's actually an actual mechanic with the lizardmen because they're cold-blooded. So they're actually worse at failing route checks because they roll additional dice and take the lowest always.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you like want to run away, sometimes they don't. It's true. It's a true thing. All right, cool. So they're gonna charge in there. Now they get their full extent of their damage instead of the reduced amount because
awesome.
because of Jericho's beautiful tactical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So with their full damage, I'm going to do.
They do it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. They dismember quite a few more and begin hacking them away, and obviously with disadvantage. But yeah, we got to that. So they're not quite at the limit where they have to start rallying, but you can try and rally them again, Kree, if you would like. They don't get advantage anymore because Aelin's no longer literally a beacon.
Well, obviously, I need them to rally. They're my friends. But obviously, it's
God
not
darn, man.
No. Can I just stay golden, please? That's so pretty.
That wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have mattered.
She just wanted the tint back on her character.
I just wanted the color back on my character.
You don't deserve that color, and you know it.
What?
I just healed like a billion people. Okay, I deserve it.
Yeah, it was like 30
All
people
right.
she saved their lives. Yeah.
You know
It was
what?
a
Could
lot.
she get a natural beacon of hope, like non-magic at all?
I mean, narratively, I think she is that already, right? Like that's, yeah.
I have constant halo.
Really wish Rangers had wisdom instead of strength, but whatever.
Wait, what do you mean instead of? Wisdom is one of their main stats.
For
You would
saving
think so.
throws, I think.
Proficiency.
Yeah. For saving
Oh,
throws,
okay.
they don't get wisdom. It's just used to cast their spells and stuff.
That's really weird.
Rangers
a lot
are
of classes are like that.
Yeah, Rangers are one of the Rangers and Paladins are like the two classes I think that require so many, like they require 3 stats really to be like really effective in a lot of cases. Anyway, Kree, it is your turn.
Obviously, I have to try and bring them back together.
Yeah.
One of these days, my men will start
Right.
fighting at full strength
Right.
again.
Let's try again.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
So you are finally able to rally the troops. They're no longer routed. You convince them that with the Bear Riders and the attacks on the flank that they will eventually overcome this menace.
I've stayed on the front lines long enough that they're not gonna just leave me behind.
Right,
That's,
exactly.
That's what's happening.
Yeah. So basically, like you were up at the front lines, and now you're no longer in danger of being attacked, right, by these crazy demon things, because they've all like swarmed up with you now, and you're defended again. That's great. But probably what is going to be one of the final blows here, the Bears charge in with Farron at their head, and they probably ride past you, Kree, wade into the battle proper. And let's see, they get bites and claws. Oh well, I technically could hit it. I could hit it with that 7. Holy shit, it actually did it. So yeah, so both of those are gonna hit. I needed a 13, by the way, so it was like it wasn't a great chance, but that's. Oh man, a brutal, savage blow is dealt. You slay 50 of them in your initial onslaught before you even get to hacking. And they are tossed up and spit aside, and I need to make a route test. And they're gonna have disadvantage as well because they're also outnumbered 2-1 now. So okay, no, they're gonna stay in. They're not the smartest things. They're gonna give one last parting blow. So they're gonna divide their damage between the 3 entities that are in existence next to them: the Lizardmen, the Bears, and the Lizardmen. So that being said, I'm gonna roll the 1 attack to see if it hits.
Some of them are currently already fleeing. Just remember.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're doing reduced damage anyway, so it's not going to be quite as much as it would be normally, but they're still going to get some blows here. So 1 bite attack. Ooh, a 21. Okay, so they're going to hit all of these 3 types of units, but and then the bears, not too bad. Only a couple of the bear riders are in. And only a couple of these guys are taken, and then the skinks. Okay, cool. But nothing is brought in the range of danger yet. Which leads us to the scouts, who are going to position themselves in the final charge and rout. They're going to try and take these guys out with their short swords. Hitting with that second one at least. Another group of them, another slew of them. Not quite the 50 that the bears killed. But I'm going to make another route test for them because they've taken more damage. Oh god. They're so far gone at this point. So they begin to run and run away, and you're able to hunt down most of them, I think. And I think that this is actually probably where the battle is going to end, right? As you push the great maw demons across the bridge, with the lizardmen and scouts in pursuit, and kind of the cavalry units slowing down and turn and letting the others push forward. We see that the army across the bridge, Cahill's army across the bridge, is pushing forward as well. And the 2 units kind of meet in the middle. And the forces both inside the city and outside the city are reunited. And there's a great victory cheer that rises into the sky. And I think that probably there's one of the lizardman riders that comes up to you, Kree, and probably says, "General, shall I send up the green sparks?" Brian, that's for you.
Britain. Brian.
Did he fall asleep? That would be. Oh my god, he was gone. He said, "Be right back." That was awkward. I didn't even notice.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah.
It was like as I was rolling attacks, so I didn't even notice. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
So as the 2 groups push and defeat all of the demons, the armies are reunited and a victory cheer rises. And one of the lizardman cavalry kind of he's probably got his arm wrapped already, and he's he rides up to you and he says to you, "General, shall I send up the green sparks?"
Yes.
Very well. And you can see he raises his lizard finger in the air, and green sparks fly out, and we see it kind of from the outer vision of everybody is the green sparks fly, that the victory has happened and the battle has been won. You've taken the Southgate district. Congratulations. So let's go ahead and take our break here because this is a perfect time for it.
Indeed.
And, when we come back, suspiciously so. To be fair, there was only 64 maw demons left, so I just killed them. Out of the hundreds that had started, you guys were killing them at a very rapid rate at that point.
Yeah, we pretty much wrecked that entire battle.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, to be fair, the lizardmen and bears are fucked up.
Yeah.
They're not going to be they're not going to be that useful in the coming days. But you know what? They did their job.
It's okay.
I'm trying, okay?
I would like to point out that Hannibal successfully routed the entire Beard army.
The bears and the lizard folk will be fine. Aelin has to keep healing in order to maintain her healing rage.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. That's how it works.
We need to keep on cutting her hand so she has to heal herself.
Yeah, like literally.
I don't think we're gonna run her to casualties.
It's the opposite of like if you don't attack. It's as if no one around you is attacked within a certain amount of time, you lose the healing rage. Cool. So let's take a break here. Let's be back at 10 after, and we'll get back into the second half here and do the aftermath of this battle and the reuniting of all of the people. Which will be
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay. Baby.
See you soon.
All right, glad y'all could be here. It's been a lot of fun. That was the fun first 2 hours. So let's go ahead and go to our break screen here, and we'll be back in just a few moments. Stay tuned.